Hey there, dear viewers. Got another couple of Wizard Wars matches for you today, actually. Played these recently. Wanted to get them commentated, put them online. So that's exactly what I'm doing. My team is going to start off this match by sending 3 to the top, and 1, that would be me, down to the bottom, to capture our 2, I guess, home or local spawn points, the ones that we start near, in other words. And then I'm going to ping, once I've got my spawn point, I'm going to ping the top right of the map, because that's where enemies will often teleport to after they've capped their 2 spawn points. And I like to try and guide my team there to catch off guard any enemies who would teleport through there. We send 3 people over, and we catch 1 of their wizards off guard in the teleport, or after the teleport. However, this does leave our spawn points open, and the enemy captures our top spawn point and neutralizes our bottom spawn point. They don't actually capture our bottom spawn point, which they really should have done. So we've got to clean up here in order for us to even just stay in the game. We've got to capture this spawn point just to give us a place to spawn. I teleport past the enemy when they're low and use some cold death lightning to finish them off, taking out 2 enemies. Our team cleans it up, we're able to capture that spawn point, and now I'm going to teleport over to the enemy's side of the map and try and get some objectives for us, because we don't have 2 spawn points. That bottom one of ours is still neutralized. It's not working for any team, so it's not working for the enemy, but it's also not working for us. So I'm trying to capture a second spawn point for us here. I get some help from a teammate. We do exactly that. We capture this spawn point. This puts us at 2-1, but the enemy is still slightly ahead as far as spawn tokens are concerned, and that bottom spawn point just gets taken by the enemy. So now it's 2 for 2. The enemy cast haste here. This wizard cast haste, but I keep him slowed down with a cold spray, so I completely counteract the effect of his haste magic. And then I finish him off with some cold death lightning, along with getting some damage on his teammate here. And then I push his teammate back toward my own ally with a water spray, and with the enemy wet down, it's a perfect opportunity for me to cast some lightning at range, which is why I was using a full lightning spell there, and it goes through their barrier. The enemy team takes or neutralizes the spawn point here. I turn around to try and counteract this. I've got to get on the point, but there's a lot of enemy, I was going to say infantry. There's a lot of enemy here, a lot of enemy wizards. A friendly casts Summon Death, and that helps clean up one of them, or that cleans up one of the enemy wizards, and that allows us to defend this spawn point of ours here. So we've kind of flipped positions here. We've taken their local spawn points, they've taken our local spawn points. I'm jumping across the map now. Get caught in a lightning storm, but the enemy doesn't really follow up on anything. The enemy does cast Summon Death on me, though, so I teleport away. Hope Summon Death doesn't catch up, but because Death does catch up, I use my Earth Armor to counteract the damage. Summon Death is actually very easy to counter. I cast a conflagration out there to deal with all the enemies that are around. There's 3 wizards and 2 imps. I was able to kill the 2 imps with my conflagration, teleport past them, put up an earth wall, and then get my healing ward back up to keep healing myself as I take this spawn point over. The enemy didn't seem to keep up with all of that, so they end up having to fight for this spawn point instead of dealing with me when they could have. Or, you know, keep continuing to put pressure or what have you. This enemy tries to put up some walls. I'm using a cold spray to break through those walls, trying to deal some damage, put some pressure on him, and my team is able to gang up on him here. We got several imps, we got me, we've got another wizard, and we got another friendly coming along. So I'm going to teleport over now to the to the enemy's half of the map and try and capture this spawn point, because both teams are doing really good jobs at swapping spawn points. I'm just trying to find some sort of an advantage here. I put up an earth wall, block the enemy's fireball. He puts up a cold spray on me. I use some cold death lightning to kind of ward him off. My healing ward, speaking of wards, is down, so I've got to recast that. The enemy is wet down. I'm able to apply the wet status effect to him once again, and he casts some cold mine, slows me down a little bit here, and now 2 enemy wizards join the fight. So this is now me 1 versus 3 of the enemy wizards. I put up a shield here. Their sprays can't get in, or their beams can't either. So they close the distance. They all gather around me, and this allows my cold lightning AoE to wreck them. I just took out 3 enemy wizards, and I didn't take very much damage myself thanks to my defensive spells and the wards that I had up. This gives us 4 spawn points on the map, and only 1 enemy wizard, because I just took out 3. So with no places to spawn, and with only 1 enemy wizard on the map, we were able to take them out. We clean up the enemy wizard, and there's no more game for them to play because they can't spawn anymore. So that gives us the match. I found that one to be a really fun and exciting match with for me personally a pretty good match ending, going 1v3 like that. All right, so here we have this second match. I like this match. This match was really fun for me to play as well, or just a really fun match in general. Again, starting off with a little bit of spin to win action over the spawn points. This time we send 2 top, 2 bottom. That's the kind of strategy that I like on this particular map, so I'm glad that this played out. There are no teleporters here, so there's nothing to defend. But we're both putting up some walls here, my friendly teammate and I. And now I'm going to spray some water on... I'm trying to get both, really, so that my cold death lightning has a bit more of an effect. I'm able to separate one of the enemies, though, and keep him away from his teammate, while my teammate is actually experiencing a little bit of trouble himself. But I'm able to take out an enemy wizard here and contest this spawn point. Now, the wizard that dealt with my friendly, the enemy, comes up and tries to defend this point, but I keep him pinned to a wall. We can see my water spray here is keeping him pinned while I'm on the point. That allows us to cap the point. And only after the spawn point has been capped do I actually engage and start dealing damage. I'm using my water spray as a means of controlling him, applying the wet status effect, and then using lightning in its ranged capacity to deal some damage and try and finish him up. Here I get really low on hit points. I start putting up some shields, teleport away, but I don't want to leave this spawn point. I want to try and hold on to this, so I stay in the ring. I stay in this spawn point to try and keep it neutralized. I don't want the enemy to get it because the enemy has no spawn points on the map right now, and I don't want to give them one. I'm just trying to hold on, let my healing ward do its thing, refill my hit points slowly while I keep putting up defensive spells. This gives us 4 spawn points while I was able to just sustain on that one. Now an enemy is trying to cap the lower right spawn point. They're able to neutralize it, but I'll use a teleport spell to quickly get in the ring so that he can't fully cap it. As long as I'm here, he can't fully cap it if he's the only one there. I'm able to wet him down, apply some lightning, finish him off. 4 spawn points for our team, none for the enemy. We take them down, and that is the match. All right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time.